the only mechanical pocket digital calculator ever invented. It was invented by Curta, who's an Austrian engineer who had the idea in the 1930s, because for the previous 300 years there'd been this desire by people to mechanise calculating, because calculating is quite effortful, it's quite difficult. Wouldn't it be great if machines could do it for us? And the first person to have this idea was Pascal, about 1650, who invented the Pascaline, and then Leibniz invented his step reckoner, and etc., etc., etc. By the Victorian age, there were these big desk calculators where, that's where the phrase number crunching comes from. People would do these complicated multiplications, not complicated, just long multiplications, using machines. But there was always the dream to try and make it a bit more user-friendly, to make a pocket-sized one. But the challenge was to get the right kind of engineering. And Kurt Hertzstark in the 1930s thought he'd found a way, but it took him another 20 years to develop it. And one of the problems was that the Second World War happened. He was half Jewish, living in Austria, so he was imprisoned in the concentration camp. But because he was quite a well-known engineer, the Nazis said, "We won't kill you, we'll let you develop your mechanical calculator," which he did. They didn't kill him, and I'm not sure if he hadn't got there yet, or if he had got there yet but didn't want to tell his Nazi captors. It was very shortly after the war when he was liberated. He worked out how to do it, and he tried to get some investment, but it's quite difficult getting investment for what's essentially kind of an executive tie. And it was only in Liechtenstein, in the Duchy of Liechtenstein, that the royal family there invested in him. And in the 1960s, 50s and 60s, about 100,000 of these Curtas were made, and they were they're now collector's items. I'm going to show you exactly how they work. You put the number down here, your input number, so what I put there, 68, and when you turn this round, it will add whatever number is here on the sides to here where the output number comes. So I put it to 68, I'm going to turn this round, and you can see it goes to 68 there. If I turn it around again, it adds another 68, and another 68, and another 68. And we can keep on going. And now I've done it 5 times, so 5 times 68 is 340. Because you might forget how many times that you've been turning it around, there's a marker here, 5, which reminds me that I've done it around, put it around 5 times. So it goes on to 6, 7. So 7 times 68 is 476. You can do a whole lot more than that. Let's multiply by a 2-digit number. So, well, firstly, let's zero it, which is quite good fun. Zeroing it, you just pull it up and turn that around. It's now completely zeroed.
That's like the clear button on calculator, is it?
Exactly, it's the C. Then you put these ones at the top. So let's say we want to do, say, 24 times 33. Let's put 24 here, 2, and then 4. So 33. 33, we need to multiply 3 times, 1, 2, 3, and then the clever thing now is that we move it from units to tens, and we do another 3 times, 1, 2, 3. So we have multiplied it 33 times, 3 units, 3 on the tens, and the answer is 792. It's a beautiful machine. I mean, this is older than me. It's 50 years old. It looks brand new, it's sturdy and tough, and what was kind of interesting about it is that in the 60s it was a toy essentially of rally drivers and their co-pilots, because often when you're rally driving there are lots of calculations you need to do about speeds, fuels, distances, but if you had a slide rule you'd be slipping all over the place, whereas with this you could do this and do the proper calculations exactly, and you're never going to slip. And it's it's like an absolutely beautiful thing. It was sort of the zenith of the dream of mechanising calculation. It was sort of the end of the road. It was sort of the most perfect and beautiful mechanised calculator. And then what happened a few years later, overtaken by electronic calculation and calculators. So this was as far as it got along the road of mechanised calculation. I bought this on eBay. You can get them for about 500 quid, although hopefully now it costs a little bit more. So it's also an investment. Let's say we want to do, I'll just pull these numbers. What's this? This is 3,242,333. And just say I want to multiply this by 678, I will go 8, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 678 times 3,242,333 is 2,198,301,774.
Nice one. What were those little silver things you moved around then at the end?
Well, these things here are just where you would put the commas, just to remind me, literally like the commas. That's all it is. Every number file's favourite toy.